Hey guys, Inferno here. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to Ish's video about the 1000 player state event. I was a part of it, a bunch of my friends that I met there were a part of it, and I'm just going to give you my reaction and my thoughts. Gonna maybe analyze it a little bit, see what's different from my experience, or see what I'm surprised about, or see if I learned anything new from watching this. So we're just gonna be watching this. It's gonna start very soon, 30 seconds. Let's get into this. Hopefully my hair isn't this bad the entire video. Alright, let's get into this. Just one last check to see, make sure my audio stuff is good. It's all working good. Alright. I just made a huge video like last night, so oh, my dogs are barking. Oh, alright, it's starting.
In the biggest social experiment ever done in Minecraft, I scattered 1,000 people across 4
I made a video about
islands
this
to
too,
simulate
so
a realistic
you're gonna have to watch
civilization.
this.
The players were given no help or guidance, and just like in real life,
You're gonna have to watch this, then watch my video if you haven't already.
Now, each
Ish,
player
if you're
has
watching
the
this,
freedom
check
to do
out my video,
whatever they
please.
want.
I would
Gather
appreciate
resources,
it.
join
Alright,
a
let's watch
society,
this.
become a dictator, or if it comes down to it,
Hey, freaking
go
turkey.
to war.
I remember that guy.
With so many people on each island, anything can happen. But I can promise you one thing. This event ended up having the most entertaining story arc I've ever seen. You do not want to miss this. So pick a nation to root for and enjoy the video. I present to you the 1,000 player civilization experiment.
These are good visuals. These are really good visuals.
Don't forget, if you want to participate in these videos, join my Discord server, and of course, subscribe to my channel.
You can join these videos.
Right, everyone ready to be teleported? Jump if you're ready.
You can join these videos.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you can join these videos if you want.
Oh, I'm in.
On day 1, all 1,000 players were teleported to their islands, each its own biome. We had plains.
The process of teleportation was really laggy, but it ended up working pretty fun.
Desert, snow, and
you guys know I'm a plains guy.
Most players spent the first day scouting their island, searching for a place to settle, but almost immediately we started to see people dying, and oddly they were all coming from the snow island. It turned out people were freezing to death
in the
after
beginning.
getting stuck in powdered snow, which looks exactly like regular snow but sucks you in like quicksand. This guy tried
It's really inconvenient. When I visited the Snow Island, this happened to me and my friends. It was kind of funny.
For the poor people on the Snow Island, trees were almost nowhere to be seen. The Desert Island also had very few trees, which players needed if they wanted to get wood. But the places where players did find trees quickly became extremely valuable hotspots for groups to settle at and colonize. Look at all these people coming together. Community crafting. They're making progress. Meanwhile, the people on the Jungle Island had essentially unlimited trees and were thus already thinking about other things. What did you say your plan was?
I'm gonna take over the world. This is my right-hand man.
Oh yeah,
Darbo.
Wazuk.
Hello, right-hand man
Don't
Darbo.
talk to him.
He's gonna take over the world, alright.
While having a lot of trees did seem like an advantage at first, many jungle people found the island to be difficult to traverse, given the immense amount of trees.
I originally
and the
wanted to be
hostile
on the
mob that would
jungle.
spawn
I
on
am
the
so
surface
glad
due
that I
to
didn't
lack of
pick the
sunlight.
jungle, even though it might have been more interesting.
The fear of traveling also made it more difficult for jungle people to talk with each other, since players could only read chat messages from people 100 blocks away from them or less. Although frankly, at least they didn't have to see what me and the admins were looking at. Lastly, we get to the Plains Island.
Yeah!
Boy, was it different from the others.
Plains!
It truly was just the perfect island to live on, with green grass,
it
trees,
really was.
animals, and no natural dangers. This guy's making a little animal family. Or farm. Not needing to worry about dying as much as everyone else, the people on the Plains Island were among the first to start mining for resources like iron or diamonds. They were also the first to build
I wonder if I'll be
villages
shown
and,
at all.
to create civilizations. Throughout the first day, you could see 2 main groups starting to come together. One of them a democracy led by a player named Horace Crown.
Our aim is building the most beautiful
Rage
city on the entire server.
aka
And the
Horus.
second also a democracy led by a player named Sidefall.
I just want to make sure
democracy? I don't
Odd
know.
how similar these two civilizations were.
UPS
They were
sucks.
both located on the southern shore, they both had democratic elections, and their leaders both wanted good for their own people. I just hope nothing happens to change that.
Good. I don't
I'm gonna
know.
make an Among Us character.
Never mind, I hope they die. Soon it was the end of day one. Players across all 4 islands logged off and made plans for the following day.
I'm surprised he's showing like how much of the behind the scenes stuff.
It was
Like,
on day
the operating
2
of
when
the server.
civilizations really began to thrive. In the southeast corner of the desert, what used to be an empty patch of grass was turning into the desert's largest nation. Hello, good sir.
Yo, what's up, Ish? The Sultan is back.
It's
You might
storming
recognize
hell.
the player Storming Hell from my first Civilization video where he led a nation called the Sultanate. Well, now the Desert Dictator is back with the Sultanate 2.0, and this time with a population of over 100 people.
I want to maintain order and peace in the desert.
The rules,
Oh,
as
no.
established by the Sultan, included:
He wants
wear
to maintain
proper attire,
order.
do not eat pork,
Peace.
complete your mandatory work, and most importantly, acknowledge the Sultan as the supreme and divinely chosen leader. Moving on, since it was still hard to get food in a dry climate, the people of the Sultanate focused on developing different types of food production, like fishing in the surrounding ocean. On top of this, a player named Drip Chicken made a chicken market, although when I checked it out myself, it turned out to be a very different type of market.
Welcome to Los Pollos Hermanos.
Thank you.
Would you like some totally legal sugar?
Anyway, we finally go back to the Snow Island. As I was flying around, I found
Bring me
what I
back
can
the
only
planes,
describe
bro.
as a British shrimp. Is the cold climate really the best place for a shrimp?
I mean, depends. But look at my little friend over here, you know.
Who's your friend? Underneath?
This is the
Yeah,
type of
this is
shit
funny.
you'd see in a Stampy
Literally-
video. I never even watched Stampy,
Oh, he's
but I
up
can.
here now.
No, no, my fish buddy. Please go back down.
Despite the
This guy
killer
sounds
powdered
like
snow and
Stampy.
the occasional polar bear, the people on the Snow Island were actually doing pretty well building settlements together. Nobody was fighting because everyone had one common enemy, the harsh climate. That being
Yeah,
said,
in the ranking of
it
the best
turned out that
islands
all
to
of
live
these
on,
snow settlements
Snow is
might be a
surprisingly
bit
second.
more than just little communities. On day 2, rumor was getting out about a conspiracy that, despite them all being spread out across the entire island, a lot of these snow settlements were actually all being run by one single person whose goal was to unify the entire Snow Island under one mighty empire. This person's name was Alanulo, and he was running this
I know this guy.
entire empire recruitment operation from an underground bunker where he felt he was safe for the time being. Essentially what he would do was hold meetings with people who were already leaders of their own settlements and convince them to merge their civilizations with his empire so they
He
would
really
be
was the big
stronger
guy.
together. He would give these leaders orders to fulfill, and in exchange they would be guaranteed high-ranking positions in the empire. If this empire actually succeeds in uniting all 300 people on the Snow Island, it would easily become the most powerful nation in the world. In fact, it would be bigger than the Sultanate and the two Plains democracies combined. Will this ambitious plan actually succeed? Let's see what happens in the following days.
Alright. First 2 days, I imagine there'll be a lot more drama in the coming days. Ish is really good with his music. He told me he was a music, big music guy in our
We now
interview,
cover the
or our
politics of every
conversation,
island except
really.
for the jungle. So what's going on here? Well,
Chaos.
quite frankly, I had no freaking idea. It was chaos. There were about 30 different
There we go,
camps and
chaos.
tribes
I
spread
was
out
right.
across the entire island, and a lot of them were in constant fights with each other. Who are the? What is going on? There's a fight here. Here's a tribe that imprisoned one of their own members for being, quote, too rich.
I say we tax him and then let him have to go out.
So overall, there was chaos, nobody trusted one another, and to add to this, nobody wanted to travel too far into the jungle because they were scared of rogue tribes and especially hostile mobs. In fact, we actually had to remove creepers on day 3
yeah.
because they were killing too many people.
I was mad about that.
Now, there were
Poor
actually
guy.
2 tribes that were considered the most influential in the jungle. The first, a river-based settlement called the Sea People, whose leader was killed almost immediately by a random rogue tribe. The new leader, Yeatspeak, dedicated his rule to
Who?
maintaining order, but also to keeping his people happy by
That's the
setting
thing
up
about the
events like
jungle.
stand-up comedy nights.
I got a few jokes about
It's
unemployed
completely
people.
irrelevant
Oh,
to the
wait,
whole story, but
work.
it's probably one of the more
Second
interesting
influential tribe
stories
was
because
located
it's
in
just
the
so
dead center of the
silly.
jungle, and it was what appeared to be a faction revolving around the worship of a player named Seth. Hello, Mr. Seth.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Oh, this is just
Seth,
creepy.
I think
You're
I got
telling me this
footage
isn't
from
a
him.
personality
Or maybe
cult?
not.
Nah,
I'm not
wouldn't
sure.
say
I think I
that.
did,
It's
though.
a way of life, all right? It's a religion.
Lastly, as I was flying around, I happened to run into this guy
I'm
again.
gonna take over the world.
Oh,
Believe it or
Wazak.
not, he had actually become the leader of a pretty impressive settlement. Granted, there was a lot of internal drama in his tribe.
Do you see this like really cool tower thing that we're building here?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
impressive in the
great.
jungle doesn't mean a
It's
lot.
really cool. and do you see our farm over there? It looks really
I'm
cool
100%
and nice. Now come over here. Could you tell us what this is?
In short, 2 of Wazik's tribe members built a librarian's tower, and he thought it was
It looks
ugly
like a
and wanted
tree.
to burn it down. Now, when I talked to the librarians, they said Wazik just doesn't like the library because he's illiterate. As I said, drama. Now, the jungle wasn't the only place having problems. The Plains Island was seeing both a surge in development, this whole place is awesome, but also
Oh, yeah.
a rise in
The tavern.
tension. The leader of one of the Plains democracies, Horus Crown, had found out that the other Plains nation, run by Sidefall, had reached out to the Snow Island looking for potential alliances. Horus Crown did not like that Sidefall was reaching out to other islands instead of reaching out to him, so he quickly established his own alliance with 2 other Plains settlements.
Oh, yeah,
both
there we go.
located on the east side of the island,
Invisible
which would
Hand,
essentially cut off
one of us.
Sidefall's access to most
20
of
JP,
Plains if
our
a
leader.
war were to break
Although
out.
Feebaz is our leader too. Feebaz was talking to me. He was like, "I hope I don't get written out of the story." And seems like he might be getting written out of the story. I don't know.
A potential massive war that would devastate their homes.
Here in KFC, we want family, not war.
Meanwhile, on the desert island, the Sultan Storming Hell was not happy when he discovered that a group
Zamta.
of mountaineers had made their home on the mountains surrounding the Sultanate. So, the 2 groups had a meeting to discuss this dispute over land.
Why does the Sultanate have any more right to a plot of land?
Simply, might makes right. We're stronger, so if it comes down to it, may the stronger group win.
People in the desert were starting to get worried about Storming Hell's tyrannical nature, so some of them moved to a quickly growing democratic nation on the other side of the island. This was Theria, the name derived from the Greek word for
these
freedom.
are
I asked
these are
their
one of the
elected
people who
president,
survived to the
Saps,
end.
about the Sultanate.
Like I said, if you don't want spoilers, watch the original
Relations for
video
now.
first,
I mean,
please.
we're in the middle of a desert. Why fight, you know?
Overall, each island had its own conflict between the desert's sultan dominance, the plains' alliance disaster, the jungle's total chaos, and the Snow Empire's takeover. At least one of these conflicts was bound to erupt.
He's setting it up
soon.
really well.
And that conflict
Day 4
was Plains. At the beginning of Day 4, a propagandist told everyone that Sidefall was about to attack the Plains Island.
Shrink top. Ooh.
Horus Crown called a code red, and everyone on Plains was freaking out, including these guys at the center of the Plains Island who built a tavern on a lake. I spoke with the bartender.
Welcome to the tavern. I hope you can enjoy a nice beer, since it might be our last.
I had one of those. This whole thing is
So
kind
at this
of,
point, you're probably wondering,
I don't know,
what
a little bit
was
fake.
Sidefall actually doing? Well, it turns out Sidefall was just as confused as everyone else since he had no plans to attack anyone. The propagandist had lied.
I have no clue what these guys are talking about. I don't want to attack anyone. I don't want a civil war.
You were framed. I can't believe it. So now, both sides were gearing up for a war over nothing but a miscommunication. And all throughout, Sidefall was desperately trying to reach out to the other Plains leader, saying that he didn't want war. The other leaders doubted him, but they actually agreed to meet with him as long as they met on neutral ground.
the tavern.
Whoever told you guys I want war is lying.
Tell us the truth then.
While they talked, Horus Crown secretly had undercover spies search Sidefall's entire village, but he wasn't aware Sidefall had someone else place a bunch of TNT under his village. But before things went too far...
Folks, we have a peace deal.
The
By
Plains
the thinnest
peace.
of margins, crisis was averted. After talking, the leaders had made a peace treaty. I actually didn't get to see much of the meeting, but here's essentially what happened. Sidefall first apologized to the other Plains leaders for not being open with them, specifically about his relationship with the Snow Island. He told them he had only reached out to
Oh,
Snow
wait,
in hopes
I wasn't
to get
in
on
the
good
room
side
at
of a
that
player
time,
named
but
A
at a
Freaking
future time I
Turkey,
was.
who was apparently Olanulo's second in command. The Plains leaders discussed their disagreements on foreign relations, Horus Crown preferring keeping alliances within Plains, and Sidefall believing in making allies on
Yeah,
other
no, I wasn't
islands.
there at that
But
time.
they were able to put their differences aside. They banished the propagandist from the Plains
Shrink
Island.
Top.
And that's the
He'd be
end.
back.
The four major Plains nations created a Great Plains Alliance. The Plains
There we
Island
go.
went from being on the brink of war to being the most united island of all. And it wasn't just Plains. Toward the end of the day, all four islands were prospering.
I wonder how many people are
From the people
watching
on Snow,
live.
collecting resources and building
Day
together,
4 was
to the people in
no
the
fighting
desert
day,
working on the
so
Sultan's
yeah, it
Build
was a pretty
project, which was
prosperous day
create
for
a
most people.
massive holy city. Even the jungle was at peace at the end of day 4, since the remaining jungle people were just thankful that they were still alive. Soon, though, it was the next
2.5K
day.
watching
But
right
before
now,
we
not
let people
bad.
Back onto the server, the admins and I decided to add a little something.
Oh yeah, the middle island.
We added a fifth
This thing ended up
island
being the
in
most
center of the
annoying,
world.
stupid
And we didn't
thing
tell the
in this
players
whole
that we
event
did
because there's supposed to be a bunch of netherite there, but there never was any netherite there. Like the two people who went there first got all of it, and then everyone else who went there found literally nothing. I don't like the Central Island. It was overhyped. I thought we were gonna all die when we went there, but it was pretty lame, honestly. This is one part of the event. There was like, man, this was kind of disappointing. We had all this hype about this middle island, but we went there. There's jack shit there.
Wanted to see who would discover the island, how long it would take to find, and then what would happen next. So we started up the server, and the wait began.
I think Pandaris got there
But
first.
meanwhile, we have to talk about the Snow Island.
Oh yeah, big
Hello,
time.
Turkey.
Hello, Itch. How's it going?
On day 5, the player A Freaking Turkey finally gave me a full explanation of the mysterious Snow Empire, which I found out was named the Aculon Empire.
Oh
Still
yeah,
fearing for
the
his
big
safety,
bad.
The Empire's founder, Olanulo, gave orders entirely from his secret underground bunker, while his second in command,
Respect to
A
Olanulo,
Freaking
he's
Turkey,
that
carried
dude.
out his
I had
orders
no
and
idea
led
this
the
is how he
people
got
on
his
the
empire
ground.
together. But it's actually
Because of
really
settlements
cool.
across
It's
the
a really cool
entire
idea you went
island.
for.
There is a lot. Just know none of it was made by slaves.
The Empire relied on strict order to maintain peace. It's now 200 citizens were each assigned a daily
Wow.
job like building, mining, or
I didn't know it was that
fighting.
much.
And whenever they were online, all citizens were required to be in 2 Discord voice channels at once, which I
Really?
didn't even know was possible. Also, the Aculon Empire made it a point to document everything, including its list of members, its hierarchies, its physical
Really?
landmarks. But what I found most
We didn't do
impressive
anything
was the
like that.
high-level operation going on in this seemingly regular building.
This singular building is the richest place in the entire server.
They called this the Quartermaster's House, and it was where the Aculon Empire not only collected and stored all its resources, but also distributed
Wow.
items using a complex request system, where, for example,
Oh
a
my
citizen asked for
gosh.
iron ingots,
I
and then the
knew about
Quartermasters
nothing
decide
of this.
exactly how much iron that citizen deserves, based on a detailed algorithm they developed. Has anyone tried breaking into this place?
Not yet. Let's just say, if you tried to get in without permission, you're not gonna get a very nice welcome.
And I kid you not, just a few minutes later, this player, Xelius, was caught trying to sneak his way in, and he was sentenced to a public execution to be held the next day. Things are kind of strict around here, huh?
As long as they don't take away my squid, I'm a happy man. Oh, man, look at me.
The Snow Island continued to be hyper-vigilant about criminals, but so were other nations, like the Desert Sultanate, which made an inescapable prison. He is surrounded
Really?
by lava. Or Wazak's nation in the jungle, which made a giant sand trap. Oh, this is evil.
Dude, this is
You wait
infamous.
until we have a nice little deliberation with
This thing is infamous across the entire server. It's the one thing
Even
Jungle is
Plains
known
didn't
for.
feel exactly safe, as this self-described capitalist
Oh, yeah.
nation made a giant wall to protect
That's
its people.
I love this
We
place.
want to make sure that
Wait,
communists cannot take
am I
this
there?
away from us.
But
There or
as I was
something?
talking to these guys, I got tipped off from someone in the desert that something big
Ooh.
was about to happen.
Oh yeah,
Sultan of
Desert
Armies on
Civil
the move.
War.
The Sultan had sent his elite squad on a secret nighttime mission. Their goal? To find a group of people that had been rumored to want to assassinate the Sultan. They're at the north side of the island now.
Oh yeah, okay, this is our target,
Okay, let's go.
According to the Sultan, the people hiding in this little settlement were indeed the attempted assassins, and now the group had a decision to make.
Oh, we're gonna kill this guy.
Do we kill this guy?
Up until now, there hadn't been any violence between desert nations. Will this be the breaking point?
Oh yeah.
We are showing the desert that if you make plans to kill me, justice will come for you.
The Sultan's elite squad
Zamta would learn that much
settlement,
later.
But during their chase of another suspected assassin, they ran literally into a major dilemma.
We know he's running to Theria.
The guy they were trying to kill was running toward the democratic nation of Theria to get asylum there. The Sultan is really about
That's
to
actually
war about
really
Theria.
interesting.
Holy, this could cause a major conflict. But the Sultan's army didn't care. They barged into Theria and searched every single house
really?
to find this one person who ultimately ended up getting away. Meanwhile, the people of Theria were freaked out by the raid. But when they looked to their leader Saps for guidance, he was nowhere to be seen.
Really?
He had fled.
What?
Eventually, the Sultanate's army left.
Why would he
but
flee?
Theria was not going to forget this.
Wow. What's going on here? You know, Ishi's not lying. He is great at music selection.
Zelius betrayed our people. And
This
for
is all not copyright?
he must die. Glory to Aculon.
Whoa! Glory to Aculon.
It was a busy day for A Freakin' Turkey. The execution was successful, but the Empire didn't yet have a written constitution or a justice system. So A Freakin' Turkey met with a player who claimed to be a lawyer.
Yeah,
to
Ish is
set
great
up
with his
a
music.
legal system.
You get the smaller seat, unfortunately, but do know it is quite important as well.
I'm used to cramming into tight spaces.
Afterward, A Freakin' Turkey took his guard to Drew and confronted
What do you
some
mean by that?
farmers who he claimed weren't producing enough food for the Empire.
I swear I will not miss any payment I have to owe you.
Drew, the bow, please. I expect 5 stacks of bread delivered within 1 to 2 business days.
Even though he was a little tyrannical at times, A Freakin' Turkey was actually becoming very well liked in the Aculon Empire because he got things done and he was a charismatic speaker.
Oh yeah.
Fellow citizens, it is my distinct honor to pronounce Steve
He's about to
and
learn
Pixel
that
as
Alanilo's the
husband
real one in
and
control,
wife.
though.
See, even though he was only the second in command of the Snow's Aculon Empire, many people were starting to view A Freakin' Turkey as a better candidate for leader than Alanulo, since most people in the Empire had never even seen Alanulo, given that he's been hiding underground the entire time, afraid of being assassinated. In fact, some of his own citizens weren't even sure he existed. While Alanulo ruled from afar,
that's actually
only
really
talking
funny.
with high-ranking officials, A Freakin' Turkey was considered
That's actually really ironic that he was being so cautious, considering the way that he died.
Man of the people, someone who talks to everyone. In fact, A Freakin' Turkey had gained so much notoriety that leaders of other nations were starting to reach out to him for alliances rather than to Alanulo. So as a result of all of this, Alanulo was starting to get a little worried.
Turkey knows that I created this empire and its entire political system, and as long as I am alive, I will be its only ruler.
I like Alanulo. He's got a cool demeanor about him. I like a man that can assassinate their sidekick when need be. In Minecraft.
Here on the Jungle Island, things haven't slowed down one bit. Amidst the chaos, this small group had made a monkey religion, and their goal
Although it
was
probably
to
wasn't a
build
good
the
idea.
biggest tree in the entire world.
The monkey never stops. While everyone else is fighting and killing each other, we are peacefully building.
By now, every tribe in the jungle seemed to have its own goal. These guys, building a tree. This group, called the Blue Cross, provided food and shelter to refugees.
Blue Cross was
Meanwhile,
on all the
Wazak's
islands.
goal, which which was still to take over the world, was seemingly driving him mad, especially after the librarians built a second tower. You did this out of spite, didn't you?
Well, no. Well, yeah.
Overall, it seemed like there was a lot on Wazik's mind, as if he was planning something big.
Oh my
Meanwhile,
gosh,
Seth and the Sea People were still the two biggest tribes in the jungle, and both pursued very innovative political strategies. For example, Seth got married, but only so he could parade around the jungle and demand wedding gifts from everyone. And you know what?
How cheeky.
It worked. The Sea People, on the other hand, had taken on a massive goal, which was to finally end the chaos in the jungle. And they did this by sending out stealth groups and hunting down thieves, murderers, and anyone who they claimed did wrong. However, some of the supposed wrongdoers they killed were actually allies of Seth. In response, Seth demanded that the Sea People stop their initiative immediately, but the Sea People planned to continue. All of a sudden, the jungle island was on the verge of a massive war, as if there wasn't enough chaos already.
Day 7. Things started getting interesting this day, I think. For me, at least.
Is someone actually here?
I think so.
Whoa, this is crazy. This is awesome, man.
I don't know about this
On
music
day
choice.
7,
This
a
island
player
is
named
desolate.
The Pokemonkey discovered the secret 5th island. The island had a mysterious dead terrain, a small
I don't think you
pre-built
could
village in
discover
the
it until
center,
day
and
6 or 7.
underground, it contained netherite, which is the strongest and rarest resource
It was
in the
all
world.
gone by the time we got there, man. All of it.
Now,
They couldn't
Pokemonkey
hire-
was a
they
part of
couldn't put
Sidefall's nation
any-
in Plains, and he quickly alerted Sidefall about the very strange and unexpected discovery he'd just made. He's taking the Blue Lantern so people believe him. Guys, I'm not lying. There
Awesome.
really is an island. 2 minutes later, another person found the center island. This time, someone from the jungle. Then, like a domino effect, more and more people started arriving, typically either alone or in small groups, like these guys from the desert. Even though they all came from different islands and nations, nobody was fighting. In fact, they seemed to be forming friendships. And
I thought there would
simply
be fighting there
admiring
when I
this
went there.
new mysterious place. He's saying this is amazing. Quickly, word began spreading across the world that there was a 5th island, and about 30 minutes into day 7, basically everyone knew. It was crazy how fast everyone found out. Now, some nations were hesitant about visiting, believing that the island was some sort of trap, while other nations like the Aculon Empire sent out large exploratory groups to investigate the island. So Aculon is here, but instead of mining for netherite, they're taking the wool from the tents. Oh, they don't have sheep in the Snow Island. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Something I found interesting was that no nation, not even the Snow Empire, had the courage to publicly claim the center island as part of their nation,
Well,
as their territory.
I think
probably because it
Pandaris
resulted
ended
in
up doing
conflict
it.
with other nations, which was my secret intention when adding the island, that it would cause some type of war. But it didn't cause a war. Or maybe just not yet. Meanwhile, I present to you the story of Los Pollos Hermanos.
That's a great
Wow,
accent.
you've really
What the heck?
expanded your business.
Yeah, we're doing quite well.
That's a
Because
great
starvation
accent.
was such a big problem in the desert. Drip Chicken had made it his life's mission to feed the people of the desert. And ever since I spoke with him on day 2 next to his little food stand, Los Pollos Hermanos had become a staple of the Sultanate. But this business would soon run into some problems. See, on days 4 and 5, the Sultan storming hell was unsatisfied with the slow progress on his build project, the Holy City. So he demanded that the farmers of the Sultanate stop growing food and instead work on his build project. And just like that, the food supply going into Los Pollos Hermanos had completely stopped. The restaurant suddenly had no
Really?
food available to sell. Having having no food, Drip Chicken was instead forced to sell some questionable products, and if he was caught selling these products by either the Sultan or the Sultan's twin guards, he would probably receive a life sentence in the Sultanate prison. Meanwhile, the farmers
this
of the
prison is so
Sultanate were
funny,
unhappy
man.
since they wanted to farm, not be forced to build. So in a rebellious move on day 5, Drip Chicken and the farmers secretly set up a meeting with Saps, the leader of Theria.
Wow.
I know you want to move to Theria, but if you do, the Sultan will send his elite squad to hunt you down.
So, what do we do?
Go to Plains or something. There's about to be chaos in the desert.
And Saps was correct. There was about to be chaos in the desert. For reasons he
Plains
couldn't
is
tell
the
farmers
refuge.
just yet, but he did.
There's so many
tell
refugees to
You know
Plains
who Davert
Island.
is?
You have no
Yeah, I think
idea.
so. He's one of the twin guards, right?
He's about to leave the Sultanate and join me.
Really?
Everyone
The two
who didn't
people
want to
the
be on their
Sultan
island
trusts
went
the
to
most
Plains.
Are his two twin guards, the brothers Davrit and Zamta, but one of
Oh,
them
really?
had grown
They're
tired
brothers?
of the
Or
authoritarian
like
and
fake brothers or
warmongering ways
real
of the
brothers?
Sultan. So Davrit had reached out to the leader of Theria, and together they created the single craziest plan I have ever heard, and this was it. First, Davrit leaves the Sultanate to join Theria. Next, the Sultan finds out about the betrayal and sends his elite squad to kill Davrit. Then, when the elite squad is away hunting for Davrit, and the Sultan is therefore alone, Davrit will sneak back into the Sultanate and kill the Sultan. Davrit will then claim leadership over the Sultanate, and as the new leader, he will finally bring peace to the desert.
I don't know if this music fits
Davrit,
this specific
there's
situation.
No way this works.
Brother, grow some chest hair. Trust me, it'll work, alright?
So, at the end of day 7, Davrit snuck out of the Sultanate and headed to Theria to begin the operation, while Drip Chicken and the farmers fled to the Plains Island. On their way out, some of them took one final look back at their home,
I'm watching the
at
premiere.
their restaurant, knowing that they would probably never see it again, knowing that the story of Los Pollos Hermanos had come to an end.
Are we going to be hearing about Plains on this day, or are we going to go right to day 8? Really?
On day 8, there was a major event on the Snow Island. For the first time ever, Emperor Olanulo had come out from his underground bunker. He had summoned the entire Snow Island to the Aculon Castle so he could publicly be crowned as the leader. Before the coronation, all high-ranking officials were required to provide Olanulo a gift.
I present to you a high-quality pair of premium brand sneakers.
Thank you, Applewood.
I, Baron Saul Goodman, give you this present, Lord Olanulo. My presence is your present.
After the gifts, Olanulo asked his second-in-command, A Freakin' Turkey, to make a speech affirming Olanulo's undisputed leadership.
My friends, the Aculon Empire is the strongest nation in the world. Not because of one leader, but because of all of us.
Thank you, Turkey.
He's doing a
At the
really
end of
good
the
job setting up
ceremony,
Olanulo,
asked all of his
and setting up the
citizens to follow
Aculon
him
Empire.
out of the castle, down the main path of the empire,
As, like, the
in a
big
symbolic
empire.
move meant to showcase the unity of the Snow Island. But this image of unity was only a mirage. There was a lot of discontent building within the Empire for many reasons. People didn't like that Olanulo's knights were constantly bossing them around, nor did the Aculon builders like it when Olanulo forced them to work on the Aculon castle instead of letting them finish their own projects. There was this general sense that Olanulo might be overreaching with his power, especially when he started spying on his own citizens to see who was criticizing his leadership. See, Olanilo believed that in order for his citizens to have a good life, they have to live in a strong nation, and the only way to maintain a strong nation was through complete unity under a powerful and unchallenged leader. This is why Olanilo was fearful about the discontent within his nation, as well as the rising popularity of his second-in-command, A-Freakin' Turkey. Knowing that they were being spied on, many of A-Freakin' Turkey's supporters were becoming scared living on the Snow Island, afraid that they would be executed for not supporting Olanilo's leadership. So, with the help of A-Freakin' Turkey, plus another high-ranking official, its Ender, some Akulon citizens organized secret evacuations out of the Snow Island through underground tunnels, some of which led to Seth's nation in the jungle, others going to Sidefall's nation in plains. Both Seth and Sidefall were very open to accepting refugees, especially those who opposed Olanilo, someone who they believed to be a dangerous tyrant. Also, they had just found out that Olanilo had actually sent spies all across the world, including into their own nations, so they didn't like him very much.
We're not going back until there's some form of democracy in Snow.
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Meanwhile in Plains, Mr. Turkey, are you starting a revolution?
No, I do not want a revolution. I just want to make sure Olanilo doesn't kill these people.
When are you going back to the Snow Island?
Probably tomorrow, because I'm gonna try and host a meeting with Olanilo. I just think he's gone too far.
Probably not a good
while
idea.
A-Freakin' Turkey stayed on the Plains Island for the rest of the day, Seth and Sidefall created the first ever multi-island treaty. This treaty not only established Seth and Sidefall as allies, but it also declared their nations refugee states, ones that are willing to accept all people fleeing from dictatorial regimes like the Sultanates or the Akulon Empire. As for A-Freakin' Turkey's position in the Akulon Empire, he was still technically the second in command, but it was only a matter of time before Olanilo finds out about the missing citizens, and then it's very likely that Turkey will be stripped of his position, or be kicked out of the Snow Island entirely and become a refugee himself. Yeah, I don't know if... Wait, is that a basketball?
I'm surprised he's skipping some things like the sand trap when that went off. That was awesome.
And instead of fighting each other, everyone was just kind of hanging out
and
and
the
doing
trial
their own
of
thing.
Look at this.
and the trial of Sidefall.
Later that night, some adventurers started terraforming the dead terrain, making it green. This actually looks not bad. These guys, meanwhile, made a secret underground church, and they hosted many ceremonies and cultural events. What type of ritual is this? Now, I actually attended 2 churches on day 8, the second one in Sidefall's nation, although I was very disturbed by the person sitting next to me.
After a near-death experience, I cannot say what they are. Right way to lead this war.
Whoa, what did I do? They're taking him away. Oh no. Later that night, the Plains Island received an unexpected visit from the Akulon Empire's state-sponsored journalist. I'm with the news. Down with the news. Go away, tabloids. Go away. No Fox News today. They're kicking out the journalists. Oh my god. Meanwhile, I ran into these Plains farmers who literally did nothing but plant wheat everywhere. Oh my god.
Look at all this freaking
That's
wheat.
the valley,
now, right
the
next
farm.
to the wheat field was a cookie factory in Horus Crown's nation, which took the wheat and made a variety of baked goods. See, ever since the Great Plains Alliance was signed on day 4, the people of Plains believed their island to be, for the most part, a very safe place to live, and as a result, many players felt secure enough to run their own businesses. There was the bakery, an Outback Steakhouse, boating and kayaking, 2 KFCs,
business was huge
and
on our
there was
island.
the most recent addition, Los Pollos Hermanos.
Really? They moved over
made
here?
one in the
I didn't hear
Plains
about that.
Yes.
expansion.
Claiming refugee status, Drip Chicken and the Sultanate farmers received citizenship.
Yeah, like I said,
inside
all the
Falls
refugees
Nation,
went to
where
us.
They were able to rebuild their famous restaurant.
I mean, we had
and the
plenty of
people
space on the
welcomed
planes.
the refugees with open arms. The only person who wasn't happy was the owner of KFC, who now had competition. Anyway, when word got out in the desert that Drip Chicken and the farmers had fled the Sultanate, as did Davrit, many loyalists in the Sultanate were furious with these betrayals. While the Sultanate was still the second most powerful nation in the world, the first being Akulon, these betrayals of the Sultanate hurt the Sultan's public image, and he feared being seen as weak by the world and by his own people. So predictably, the Sultan sent his elite squad out into the desert to try to find and kill both Davrit and Drip Chicken. But instead of staying home in the Sultanate, this time the Sultan traveled with his elite squad. This threw a wrench into Davrit's assassination plan, and Davrit had no choice but to keep hiding underground until he saw an opportunity to strike. Meanwhile, the leader of Theria, Saps, was extremely worried because he knew that the fate of his nation and his people rested on this assassination attempt. If it succeeds and the Sultan is killed, well, then all is well. But if it fails, it will only be a matter of time before the Sultan finds out that Saps was behind the plan. And then there is no doubt that the Sultan will seek revenge and absolutely obliterate Theria, killing not just
Zamta
Saps,
being there with
but all
him,
his
not a
people
good
who,
sign.
by the way, were entirely innocent. Saps purposefully didn't tell any of his citizens that he was involved in an assassination plot because they definitely wouldn't approve of something that puts them in such danger. All of this tension in the desert was really starting to get to some people, like this group, which made a giant lava wall around their
I saw that when I went to the desert.
They wanted nothing to do with the politics of the desert, and they were rather
So funny,
paranoid
man.
about everything.
The walls keep us safe. We can't leave the walls for long, because then we're not safe. Everyone inside the walls is safe, everyone outside is not safe. They're strangers, we shouldn't trust them. Oh, by the way, also don't push any buttons you find in here.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of had
I actually
like
think this
walls,
group was
but
more
we
of a
went
cult
out of
than
them
a
all the
civilization,
time.
But still, I think they had the right idea.
What is that?
And now we go back to the Jungle War. I say war because both major nations had already basically decided that they cannot coexist in the jungle. Seth was mad at the Sea People for killing many of his allies, while the Sea People were mad because Seth wouldn't let them kill those who they believed to be criminals. Neither nation was willing to compromise on this, so war seemed inevitable. However, because Seth had also recently formed an alliance with Sidefall from Plains, a war between the two jungle nations would likely cause Sidefall, as well as the rest of the Plains Island, to join the battle, thus turning this into an actual world war. So, given that the stakes were so much higher now, both sides agreed to have one final meeting.
I don't think I would have gone to the
work
plains
things out.
even if I was called
Wazak who quickly
the
offered
jungle
his nation as
for
a good
war.
neutral location for the meeting.
I mean,
and he was quite
It
enthusiastic
didn't really
about
involve our
hosting.
faction.
On day 8, Seth and the Sea People sent their highest-ranking officials
I don't
to
think
Wazak's
UPS
nation,
could have brought
where
us
the
into war,
meeting would
even
take
if
place.
they wanted us to be there.
Alright, Seth. You're up first.
I think the Sea People are killing people for a lot of irrational reasons. So, you know, as an example, right? They had 5 stacks of cookies taken from them. That takes like 3 minutes to get, bro. And he's like, I don't think you should murder someone over there.
We requested he give it back, and he basically said no, so he was put on KOS and we killed him.
So that was exactly what Seth just said.
Let me add some context.
I mean,
Soon, the argument began to escalate.
and the people you attacked were direct allies.
I'm sorry, but what other ways do we have to stop the chaos in the jungle?
They stole. They didn't deserve to be killed over it.
Do you really want to go to war over this?
Well, if you keep killing our people, then we won't just stand by and watch.
Alright, fine. The Sea People declare war.
All right, let's do it.
But before the fight could begin, Wazak yelled,
"Double now!"
Oh, this is when the sand trap happened. I thought it happened. Oh. I thought it happened earlier than this, but wow. Yeah, huge event on the whole island.
Wazik had just killed 7 people using his sand trap before getting away. Seth and the Sea People decided to put their war on hold and declared a unified worldwide manhunt for Wazik. Everyone was confused about why Wazik did this, but then I remembered something Wazik had told me the day before.
Listen, if the war breaks out, I have a plan to stop him.
Really? How?
Oh, you'll see, my friend.
When Seth and the Sea People declared war on each other, Wazik decided to use his sand trap and make himself the villain so that the entire jungle would make peace to unite against him, therefore actually preventing a world war.
That's actually pretty crazy. Dagon's interesting for us because that's when the KFC war happened. He probably won't mention it because it's like more of a minor event, but
a wedding hosted by a
it was big for us, for our specific side of the alliance.
To visit your civilization, so there was a lot of buzz surrounding the Sultan's visit, and everyone in the desert knew he would be there.
Or maybe
Zamta the twin guard was also at the wedding, and he was quite thankful for the break since he secretly despised having to hunt for his own brother. When the Sultan demanded that Davert be tracked down and killed, Zamta was horrified by this order, but he kept silent, fearing that he'd be next. Zamta could only hope that Davert was far away now, hiding in a place where the Sultan would never find him. But it turned out Davert was not far away at all, because he was on a mission.
Really? Oh.
Look, he's actually here.
This is great tension building-ish. You're doing great.
Davert was coming to kill the Sultan, but he had to be sneaky because the Sultan was guarded by his elite team.
Wow.
The plan was to catch him and his team off guard since it would only take a few hits to kill him. I'm so nervous right now.
Oh my.
Did the wedding end? The wedding's over. He's leaving. Oh, he's leaving.
Oh my. I don't know about any of this. Cause...
Oh! Davert! Holy crap! Oh! He's hit him so many times! Wait, Storming's getting away? The elite team is on Davert big time! Oh! Oh! Oh, he's getting close! He's getting close!
I know.
Oh, he turned around! Holy crap! Everyone's here now! This is insane!
I had no idea this is how it happened. Wait, why did he do that? Is it because his plan failed, or what? Oh my gosh.
Sultan's on his way back home, I think.
Okay, I didn't ever know the leader of Theria, so I had no idea that happened. Dude.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that's how it happened. Oh my
Angry
gosh.
about the death of his brother Davrit, Zamta betrayed and killed the Sultan storming hell in what he called an act
That's
of
cool.
revenge. All of a sudden, within the span of a few minutes, storming hell, Saps, and Davrit were all dead. Both
Wow.
the Sultanate and Theria were without a leader.
This is why the
and
desert
the desert
collapsed.
island was in a state of total confusion. Now, because the Sultanate didn't have a solid line of succession, there was a short power struggle that ended with the Sultanate getting completely dissolved. On day 9, the second most powerful nation in the world had fallen, and most of the Sultanate's citizens ended up
pretty
fleeing.
crazy.
That being said, it wasn't totally the end. Some who were still loyal to the late Sultan decided to form their own militias, whose only goal was to track down Zamta and avenge the Sultan.
We are called by
Yeah.
our divine leader to kill the dirty traitor. Mashallah.
Theria, on the other hand, didn't dissolve and instead elected a new leader, a player named Jophiel, who was well liked and trusted in the community. Still, the people of Theria would continue to live in a state of fear, afraid they would be invaded by one of the new desert militias. Also, they would never find out why their founder Saps jumped off the Therian tower, which he did
Yeah,
because
why'd he
of
do
guilt.
that?
After he saw Davrit
Really?
die, Saps believed that the Sultan would invade and destroy Theria, and he felt too ashamed knowing
Sultan
that he would be
got destroyed
responsible.
too.
It was only thanks to Zamta that the invasion didn't happen. The death of the Sultan sent shockwaves
Kinda-
throughout not just the desert,
That's
but
crazy.
the whole
It's
world.
absolutely insane.
Many nations went on lockdown, including the Akulon Empire. While they technically weren't allies, Emperor Alanilo had always admired Sultan Storming Hell's strong authoritarian leadership. So after the lockdown, Alanilo sent his diplomats to the desert to offer support to the Sultanate militias. At the same time, on the Plains Island, Drip Chicken of Los Pollos Hermanos was watching the desert from afar, and he was worried about these rumored desert militias. Because Drip Chicken was from the desert, he was able to educate his customers in Plains about the politics of the desert, and after Saps' death,
Yeah.
he encouraged
None of us on the
Sidefall
plains
to
had
send
any idea what was
diplomats to
happening on the
Theria
desert
quickly,
or the
and
jungle.
Sidefall did just that. On day 9, Theria officially joined Seth and all the Plains nations in the refugee state contract. And what originally started as a simple refugee agreement between Seth and Sidefall had now turned into a worldwide alliance called the Alliance of Democratic
It
Nations.
wasn't called that.
Or put simply, the Allies.
It wasn't actually called that. It was called FedEx. And then it was called 7-Eleven when the other people joined in, I think. It was really stupid. I get why he changed it, though. We never once called it the
Akulon
Democratic
Empire
Alliance.
continued
Yeah,
their
we didn't
daily
call it that.
routines. The highest-ranking officials of the Empire gathered to discuss the new existential dilemma they were now facing. The Akulon Empire had always been the most powerful nation in the world, and it still technically is. But when adding together the populations of all the states in the Democratic Nations Alliance, it is the allies that
Wow,
more
340?
people overall. This made Akulon officials extremely worried. They saw this as the first legitimate threat to the regime. Alanilo agreed with this view, but at the moment, his attention was on another problem entirely. The problem known as A Freakin' Turkey. A Freakin' Turkey's rise to popularity had always bothered Alanilo, but now this conflict was at an absolute breaking point because yesterday, one of Alanilo's spies caught A Freakin' Turkey helping Snow citizens flee the Empire. Fleeing or defecting was strictly against Akulon law. Alanilo's spy also saw A Freakin' Turkey hanging out with not just Sidefall, but nearly all the major Plains leaders, which made Alanilo think, is A Freakin' Turkey planning something? Is he secretly working with the Allies? Is he about to orchestrate a full-scale revolution
I don't know if he
or
was,
an invasion
actually.
of the Akulon Empire? These were all questions that Alanilo was wrestling with, and the more he thought about it, the more he convinced himself that A Freakin' Turkey was probably committing some sort of treason and needed to be stopped. Yesterday, A Freakin' Turkey had reached out to Alanulo for a meeting, and today, Alanulo accepted this request, but with a few conditions. 1, this meeting takes place at the Akulon Castle. 2, Turkey comes alone. And 3, the meeting takes place not today, but tomorrow, because Alanulo needed some extra time for his builders to finish a certain project located on the top of the Akulon Castle. Nobody knew why or what the strange-looking tower was, but Alanulo insisted it be completed
the
by
Iron
the time
Torch.
Turkey shows up.
Tomorrow is certainly going to be interesting, so make sure everyone's ready.
Lastly, later in the day, Alanulo sent diplomats to establish alliances with both the desert militias and with the sea people in the jungle. Alanulo appreciated the sea people's value of order, and he promised that he will help them stop the chaos in the jungle and help them catch their #1 most wanted criminal, Wazuk. The sea people accepted this alliance, but they ended up not needing Akulon's help because late into day 9, Wazuk decided to turn himself in.
Really?
He's about to be executed. A guilty conscience, perhaps.
I didn't know that's how he died, but interesting.
Alright, Wazuk, I understand you have a prepared statement. You may now read your final words.
Yes, thank you. Hello everyone, it's your old friend Wazuk. In the beginning, I wanted to rule the world. But I've made some bad decisions. And now, it's my time to go.
You killed innocents.
If there's one thing I've learned, is that time can never be your trusted friend.
Oh my.
Long live the jungle.
What's he doing? Oh. Wait. Yep. That was a big moment.
After deciding that being a criminal in hiding isn't how he wanted to live, Wazuk instead chose to face his inevitable death on his own terms, and by doing so, he gave the jungle one last moment of unity.
And one last moment of relevance,
the conflict
too.
between the two major jungle tribes was still unresolved, especially now that they were in opposing alliances, but for this brief moment, there was peace in the jungle. Well, that was fun. Everyone's coming down the tree now. Most nations around the world took the end of day 9 to rest and reflect on how far they've come. For example, the jungle's Blue Cross tribe celebrated becoming international, with at least one charity location on each island.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the desert, the
I thought
two
it started
Sultanate
on the
militias
plains,
held a
but maybe
funeral
I'm
for the
wrong.
late Sultan, where they vowed to get revenge and chanted death to Theria, after which they proceeded to finish building the Sultan's holy city in his honor. Theria, on the other hand, expanded its reach into the arts and became the first civilization to develop music. Oh. Lastly, on the Plains Island, businesses were booming and civilizations were thriving. On day 9, the Plains Island had finished the construction of the ISH, the International State Highway, which made trade and transportation between the major Plains nations much
it was
faster.
big time.
Overall,
Big
the
thing.
building and architecture and player creativity in Plains was simply amazing, and it was all made possible
We had the best
by
island.
the political stability of the Plains Island. Many in the desert and jungle and snow looked at Plains as the shining beacon that they can aspire
city
to
on
be
the hill.
like one day. As the end of the day approached, A Freakin' Turkey returned to the Plains Tavern after spending the day traveling around the world, visiting civilizations in the jungle, the deserts, and of course the Plains Island. During many of his visits, he was very surprised when he found out that most people from these foreign nations not only knew about him, but admired him. This was because rumor had spread about his disobedience to Olanulo, and as a result, he had earned a worldwide reputation as the savior of refugees, the honorable rebel, the man who stood up to the emperor, and everywhere A Freakin' Turkey went, he was welcomed with open arms. By the way, I think he would have been perfect for that.
Yeah, I heard there was a comedy show here. You should have called me over.
When it came to the Akulon Empire, the truth was, A Freakin' Turkey had no intention of causing any type of uprising or revolution. In fact, he was strictly against the idea, knowing just how devastating a major war would be. But he did want change in the Empire. During his prolonged stay in Plains, he had seen what freedom and democracy look like. He had come to regret his more tyrannical actions in the early days, and he now envisioned a reformed Akulon Empire. His new dream was to bring democracy to Snow, bring freedom to the people of the Akulon Empire, and make the Snow refugees feel safe to come back home.
Akulon did unify really early, but they also created a little bit of a problem for themselves.
If A Freakin' Turkey is able to convince Olanulo to convert the Empire from a tyrannical dictatorship into
fraction
a
of people
free
who are
democracy,
rebelling,
and then the Akulon Empire ends up joining the Allies, then world peace wouldn't just be a far-fetched idea for wishful thinkers. It would actually happen. With this massive goal in mind, A Freakin' Turkey prepared for tomorrow for his big meeting with Olanulo.
I'm starting to wonder about the timetable because I'm pretty sure he didn't die on day 10.
Before A Freakin' Turkey took off
Did
to
he,
the
like,
Snow Island, he had
add
met
more
with the
days or
4
something?
major Plains leaders one last time to tell them what he hopes to achieve in his upcoming talk with Olanulo. The Plains leaders were pessimistic. See, when they heard about Olanulo's strict conditions for the meeting to take place, they suspected that this was going to be the meeting where Olanulo removes Turkey from his second-in-command position, or worse, puts Turkey in Akulon's prison. Whatever happens today, the Plains leaders promised Turkey that he has the full support of the allied nations. Even if they can't attend the meeting, they will be watching and will do whatever they can to help him. There we go. Turkey is now back on the Snow Island.
Oh. I know this doesn't end well, but I want to see what exactly happens. I know this doesn't end well. This can end well. The Iron Torch.
This is weird.
The Iron Torch is crazy. It's like very impressive what they did with that.
Oh, he's right here. He's on his way. Here we go. Everyone's here now. I think everyone's here now. Knights come to the castle.
I want to see how this goes down. It's very interesting.
Wow, I think these are all the high-ranking officials of Akulon. They're all here.
Hear ye, hear ye. All barons, Duke Turkey, and fellow knights have now come together to speak with
Oh, they got a jungle guy?
Olanulo, would you please start
Wait,
the conversation?
wait. Turkey, hold up. So before we begin, sorry to interrupt. I have a special thing I want to do real quick.
Wait.
Here,
Drew, not yet. I want to do something first. Turkey, can you sit on the throne for a second?
Why?
Just do it.
Okay. What are we doing?
What is happening?
Can I trust you, Turkey?
Yeah?
You like
What?
this, right? Sitting on the throne?
You put me on here. I don't know what you're talking about.
In front of all these people?
What are you getting on about?
I know that you've colluded with the Plains Alliance. And I know that you want to take over this nation. Take this throne for yourself.
Whoa. What?
There's nothing you can do at this point to convince me that you're not plotting a revolution against me. I caught you red-handed.
No! Alanulo! Yes, I've talked with Plains. I've also talked with Desert and Jungle. I am a diplomat. And I'll tell you this, all those people that I talked with will become our allies.
I love the
moment
heartbeat.
we turn this place into an actual democracy.
Ish is like a great video maker.
Why are you secretly leading people off my island?
Because they thought you were going to kill them. And to be honest, so did I. So that's the point of this meeting. You want to get rid of me? You know what? How about I just leave, and you won't have to deal with me again? I'm just gonna go.
This is great tension.
Yeah, and then you'll come back with an army. I'm sorry, Turkey.
Oh! I didn't know they built that into the throne. That's awesome, dude. Holy shit. Oh. They built the lava trap into the throne. That's brilliant. Or did they not actually do that? Because did they actually just execute him and they did this to make it seem cooler in the episode? Also, holy cheese shout out. Ooh. But did they actually do this to make it seem cooler? Or did they actually build that? I'm curious about that. That would be really cool.
Like that,
I'm wondering if they actually had a lava throne.
And many
but
of
it would be
Turkey's
cool.
supporters were killed. The few who were able to escape immediately swam to the other islands to tell everyone exactly what happened.
This
And
might have
all of the
been a
knights
very
started
bad mistake.
executing Bernie, Ender, Turkey. They assassinated some of the most loved members of Akalon.
When Afreak and Turkey's death message appeared in chats, people around the world were outraged, and shortly after, the leaders of the allied nations started activating their militaries, putting them on standby.
Turkey once visited Los Pollos Hermanos. I'm giving the army chicken for 50% off to make sure they're ready for battle.
Meanwhile,
Interesting.
Alanulo got word that the allies were preparing their armies, so he declared a full lockdown, reached out to his own allies, and called them to the Akulon castle to be ready in case the allies declare war. And sure enough, when the Plains leaders talked with Theria and Seth, the vote was unanimous. On day 10, the Alliance of Democratic Nations officially declared war on the Akulon Empire.
We actually
I
initially
just want
didn't
to say,
really
I
want
wish
to go to
you
war.
luck and great success. Hopefully, we all see some of you tomorrow to sign the Constitution of the new Akulon Republic, the new Akulon Republic that we all dream about having. Thank you. Thank you all.
This isn't about us. This isn't about our lives. It's about getting justice for Turkey and ridding the world of tyranny.
All the allied nations.
I'd say
met
you
up
need a
at the
voice at least
center
this deep to
island
make
so they could
speeches.
attack the Snow Island
I'm just kidding.
together.
Today, we fight for revenge.
This is what I'm talking about.
We
Come on,
fight
guys.
for freedom.
Doing a Kratos impression or what? Oh yeah, I mean this part of the this was just epic. I mean, there were a lot of issues in the last day, but it's just it was because it was too epic. That's what was going on.
But little did the allies know, Alanulo had set a trap. The Akulon builders had taken inspiration from history and created what they called the Iron Torch, the most advanced defensive tower in the world, complete with dangerous height, sturdy
really is
walls,
impressive.
arrow slits, and lava cover. This is crazy.
They're here.
Oh, yeah. I was really confused. I thought they would be there when we got there. Oh, that's... What the hell? That's my face! Holy shit! No way! He put me in the... Oh my gosh, that's awesome. My face just for a second, but that's really cool. Nice! I'm in the video. Overglocked, shout out to Overglocked. He's a real one. Shout out to all our faction. That's awesome. My face was there for a split second. Thank you, Ish. Thank you, Ish. Really? This is interesting music. Is this non-copyright? Is all of this non-copyright? I need Ish to be my music guy if I become a famous showrunner ever. I need Ish to be my music guy. Nah, I'd have to be Ish's guy, or I don't know. I didn't know there was a ladder in the middle of that. I wonder if we could have gotten there if we were able to do that. But yeah, it's crazy how big their interior was. There's holy shoes. Like, the way they designed their tower is brilliant. Ooh. Wow! So they got some really cool shots here. This is just really impressive. Big step up from his previous videos.
Watch out, they're coming up.
Really good cinematography here. Oh my gosh. Maybe not, I don't know. Most of the invisible hand was going in on the outside. Zamta. Wait, no, that's not how Zamta died. That's not how Zamta died. It's just not how Zamta died. He died after the event because everyone just wanted to kill him. Everyone just really wanted to kill him, even after the siege was over. I mean, I understand why he's changing things, but yeah, that's not how it happened. Oh yeah, that was really cool. I love when we started putting down the jungle trees. Oh, yeah. I had no idea people were trying to go in from under. Everyone I was with was going through the outside. There's Refried. I saw him right there. Oh, there it is! I thought he was gonna, like, edit that to make it not the way he died, but yeah, that's the way he died. Really crazy, really good stuff. Really, Refried again, 20 JP. It's a really great moment. I mean, not for him.
Soon after Olanulo died, the Aculon Empire officially surrendered.
Wait, I can't.
That's my voice! That's me!
Surrendered? Still kill them.
But even though Aculon surrendered, the allies didn't
That's
stop
my
fighting.
voice!
No mercy, no mercy. I'll say no mercy.
That's
Like
another
that,
other
there was a
remarks.
purge on the Snow Island. But this time, it was the supporters of Turkey
Oh my gosh.
doing the killing. This is just an absolute slaughter fest. After a while, the Allies had completely taken over the Iron Torch, and all the Aculon forces had either been killed or had fled the island and gone into hiding. And with that, the Alliance of Democratic Nations had defeated the
AKA
Aculon
FedEx.
Empire.
Wow.
It was only when
This
the
is
war
great.
ended and the clouds parted that the Allies were finally able to
Bruz, he's part of our
reflect
faction.
on what they had done. They had succeeded. But they had also shown no mercy. When their enemy surrendered, they continued to be ruthless and thirsty for blood.
Oh yeah, you know it.
They had become their enemy.
There's
As
Fivas
the
in the
allies
background.
each safely returned to their homes, now with a clear mind, many of them felt regret. Neither side was completely innocent, and the war was complicated. But at least it was over. And the Allies had won.
Ish has a good speaking voice and good equipment. I like how he does his stuff. 502, there we go.
Over the next few
There's
days,
the big death.
the people of Plains, Theria, Seth, and a few smaller nations
The people of
created
Seth.
a world alliance with a massive parliament building on the center island where world leaders met to discuss the affairs of their nations and, most importantly, to keep the peace.
I
And the
wonder if
first
he'll
order of
include
business was
JP's
pardoning
speech,
the few
because it was pretty
living
good.
players who fought for Aculon so they didn't have to live in hiding. Meanwhile, the snow refugees were able to move back to the snow island and create the new Aculon Republic.
It must have been
putting
interesting to
democracy in
rebuild
snow. They
it.
also tore down the remains of the Iron Torch
Really?
and put in its place a graveyard honoring all
I didn't
who
see that.
died in the Battle of Aculon. And overlooking the graveyard was the man, or Turkey, who inspired them all.
It's a really good, consistent narrative he's going for.
And so, the jungle went back to hosting comedy shows, the desert went back to pursuing the arts, and Drift Chicken went back to running Los Pollos Hermanos. After all that happened throughout the days, things were finally settling down.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that me right down there? Yep, that's me right there, right next to 20JP. When he flew off.
For many players, the newfound peace allowed for new stories to begin. But for us, it's a good place to end.
Yeah, it was the post day 10 days were a little bit boring, but had some cool stuff in them. Great job, Boy Jedi. Wow. Subscribe for more. Wow. There you go. All right. Well, what do I think? All right. Let me not autoplay for another video. What do I think? Well, this is a really good video. It's a really good narrative from beginning to end. He does a great job constructing that, making it happen, and I'd say there are some things that I'm a little disappointed that weren't included. I mean, but I completely understand why he cut some things, because you know it's already like an hour 15 minutes. I mean, if you wanted to give a faithful covering of every major event, then that could be 2 hours or 3 hours or longer. But yeah, I thought that was a great video, and I mean, I'm happy for Ish. I mean, I got to be a part of this event. I was super excited. Ish, it was actually the guy who got me into my Minecraft Civilization videos. I found his video first, and that was the one that like really got me into the whole idea. And then I joined the event. I was able to get in with my application. At the beginning of the video, I didn't get to say it, but I was going to say, oh, my application, I didn't think it was that good. But I ended up getting into the event. I met the Invisible Hand people. They were really nice. And yeah, and this video is like insane with the amount of effort. We got the live chat here. I mean, a lot of people talking. It was a really good constructed narrative. I mean, I'd say, of course, like everyone can complain about not being featured enough or having too many events left out, but of course that's inevitable. There were some parts where I thought he was moving events between days. Maybe that's just me not having a great timetable, because, you know, with Rumors, we had like no idea what was happening on the other islands when we were on Plains. I mean, yeah, the thing about all the refugees coming to Plains, it really was the island for everyone. I mean, we had our huge our monastery. We didn't actually let anybody in. That caused some conflict, but yeah, overall, I think that was a great video. I mean, it's easily Ish's best work. He did a great job with his last few. I think this video is going to blow up. I think it's going to be huge. Hopefully my video can sort of ride on its coattails. I chose to delay its upload for today. So yeah, now that this video is done, I'm going to go upload mine. And then after that, I'm going to edit this reaction and then post it. Alright, see you guys.